Hey guys, just wanted to go through a workout briefing for you guys for Wednesday, March 25th. I figured this was best to answer some of your guys' questions and also just give you some movement demos so you can see some visuals. So we have, to start off, a 3-station rotation here. We have A1, A2, A3, starting with a single arm dumbbell, kettlebell, or sandbag, floor, or bench press. So really, you guys can implement any sort of loading for this. It can be kettlebell, dumbbell, sandbag, whatever it is. My preference is probably for the floor variation on this versus the bench press. So I'll go ahead and show you guys that. Basically just thinking, I'm gonna show you guys with the kettlebell here. Just thinking, making sure that your arm is fully extended as you're doing this. With the kettlebell, obviously it's outside of the forearm here. And then you're just lowering that elbow in nice and tight to the body and then pressing up from there. You might actually have the feet up in a standing position. It'll just help to keep your core nice and neutral as you're doing this. And then you can just focus on your repetitions. Okay, so I put 10 to 15 reps on this one. That is a big range for you guys. And the reason being, obviously you're gonna have some variance in terms of loading for the movements. So if something's a little bit lighter, if you only have one kettlebell or one dumbbell, it's a little bit lighter, shoot for the higher end of that range, the 15 reps. If it's something where it's a little bit more moderate to heavy, then maybe it's on the lower end of that range. Okay, so that's station 1. We have the floor press, single arm. Station 2, still a single arm exercise, but now we're gonna go into more of a pulling exercise. Okay, so you can still use your same kettlebell or dumbbell for this. You're gonna stagger off your stance. So whatever side you're rowing on, that back leg is gonna be staggered back behind you. And then from here, just making sure that you're really kind of loading into your hips so your back is engaged nice and flat. And then all you're gonna do from here is just some bent over rows, okay? If you have the range of motion for it, or maybe if you're using a kettlebell because it sits a little bit higher off the ground, you can go to the floor each time. If it's a dumbbell, you might be hovering a little bit off the ground. Okay, so once again, just this position here, keeping that elbow in tight, and then rowing all the way into the body. I also have 10 to 15 reps on that one as well. So same thing applies, like I was saying, for the floor press. If it's a little bit lighter, go on the higher rep side. A little bit heavier, you can go lower rep side. Okay, so that's station 2. Station 3, there was some confusion on this one. Last week I got some questions on this one, the prawn swan hold. So basically, for this one, we're doing this for shoulder health. Okay, so it's a good retraction exercise for you guys. Prone just means as you're facing down, so you're laying down on the floor. I'm gonna come all the way down. I had a nice long description on this from last week. So basically think of keeping your hips tucked, keeping your rib cage kind of pulled in as well. And then from here, all you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the arms into a fist or hold the hands into a fist, retract your shoulder blades, and just hold that position off the ground. So even as I'm doing that there just for a few seconds, I'm feeling a ton of activation in my upper back and shoulder blades. Okay, so you're holding that position there, keeping your head neutral, anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds for each set. Okay, so with that first part, you'll basically alternate through. You'll go 3 rounds through until you complete that. And then once you guys finish that one, you can get moving on to part B. Okay, so part B, pretty straightforward conditioning sets here. You have some intervals. So basically think of each set, you're gonna have a 2.5 minute clock. This is gonna be your buy-in. So whatever you choose, run, row, or bike, I would keep it the same. Okay, so you wanna have a baseline here of, you're not changing the stimulus every single set. It should be the same so that you know if you're having a similar amount of time for the burpees or if your score is kind of lining up from set to set. Okay, so for example, let's say I choose the bike. I go 0.6 miles on the bike as the buy-in to begin. Whatever time I have remaining, you're looking at max reps of burpees, okay? So most likely, if you're keeping a decent pace on this, you're probably gonna have around a minute or so for burpees. You're looking at 90 seconds of work for the aerobic piece. And then you're gonna rest exactly 90 seconds between your sets. Okay, so the score for this one is basically your total burpees cumulative over the course of the 4 sets. Okay, so 90-second break between 4 total sets, 2.5 minutes of work as you're doing this, and then you're just keeping a grand tally of how many burpees you do for your total score. Okay, if you guys have any other questions on any of the movements, the structure, any of those things, you can always post a comment down below right beneath the workout in SugarWOD. I'll be sure to answer those as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.